Well, let's see how these tires are. After doing so many kilometers, these are the Chaoyang that I put on my bike. They're still 26. Chaoyang 26. We had changed the Victory 36 model. The video mucho is over there. The change of the two. The front is the same. Now let's look at it in detail. We had changed it a while ago. It's going to be a year in a month. The month of July. I put these covers on July 17th. Last year, I was in front of the stores and I put this one to try. We are in 18. We are in June 20th, 2023. They're already 11 months old. And the tires have almost 1,000 kilometers. In my Strava account, if you want to see it, you can see all the kilometers I did while training, plus the ones I did in races, which are now 2 80-kilometer races, plus the walks here, which are 3 6-kilometer races. Yes, almost 200 kilometers more, but it must have 1,000 and 9,000 kilometers and something. I have to count everything because it is an average of more or less 120 kilometers per month and some months more. There is a 100-kilometer depth, an 80-kilometer depth, and it easily reaches 1,000 kilometers, but 9,000 or something is sure to have these two covers and the covers are intact. Let's see how they look in part. It looks very, very good, very round. All the miles it has are covered more than anything else. Little treads, low tread, and quite close together. This is the only wear that can be seen. These are not broken. They are not cracked, nothing. The tents I had before lasted much less, of course, but they are lighter covers than this one. They break here because they were made of Kevlar and they break here. This part lasted me about 7 months, 8 months. It's there, it's marked, but it's nothing to do with it. Nothing is done. They're fine. The tires are very good tires. This is rubber. Rubber, rubber. What if the thorns enter easily here because it is soft? It's rubber. That's the back. And this is the front. The front, of course, is more worn because this front one looks a lot more worn than the rear one. Well, what happened was that this forward was behind me 2 months ago. I put it in front because where the weight is the most, where the rear rests the most, and where I need the most grip is in the rear, where it does the traction. The front is not as much as long as it has a stud on the side. It is so new practically so that the curves do not slip and nothing happens. Front but rear, and always make sure that it has a stud so that it does the traction, that it does not skid, that it makes all the force and the weight more. It always goes to the rear. But I was already seeing that I was puncturing. Well, I pricked a thorn yesterday. It was a big thorn. Then several small thorns were placed as well because it is a little more worn and the rubber is already thinner, so it goes in more easily. It's not the same when it's new, which is difficult to get into, but what I'm going to do these days is Since this one has a chamber, I'm going to put the sealing liquid in the chamber and we're going to test how it works. There, how the sealing liquid works. I'm going to take it to a place where there are a lot of thorns, and I have to go train in a place, on a racetrack, where I'm sure it will puncture the thorn, and we'll see how it works to clarify whether the thorn stays inflated or doesn't. Deflate. We take out the thorn and we'll try it carefully. But anyway, I wanted to show the covers as long as they last. They are intact. This is the front. I think it's a little bit more twisty than the one in the back, but actually it's a little bit more. But anyway, they are pretty round. That's what it is. Good tires that fit well, they turn well rounded and make a lighter bike. Apart from the fact that it is made of more rubber, it adheres better, and this doesn't stay in the air. It doesn't get deformed. There is no square part, round part. The tire doesn't deform. So it sits well all the kilometers it has. It is already perfect, as it is. A change could be made even on a single one. We put this one in front and back. We put a new one in. The front is quite a bit more for the change, but as long as the door doesn't deform, doesn't get cut or broken here or anything, we're in for a while here.